Rolling right through our first intermission. It's 1-0 London over Kingston so far on the OHL tonight as we welcome you back into Women in Sports Night. And as I mentioned, we are pleased to be joined now by Janine Charron, who she's a former NWHL player. She's a marathoner, a CrossFit athlete. You had a fitness studio. There's lots of things, but more importantly, you're here tonight as you yourself and Jackie Jarrell were the two that dropped the puck. So welcome to the game and the broadcast.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here. It's great to see that you guys are doing this for women in sport.
I mentioned you were an NWHL athlete, but you're also a student athlete too. You spent some time at the University of New Hampshire, didn't you?
Yeah, I was there 2000 to 2004. I had a great 4-year experience. I was one of the assistant captains, and if anyone is lucky enough to play for a team at that level, I mean, take every advantage. It's amazing.
And then from that, you were able to play in the NWHL, but it also opened lots of different avenues for yourself. I know you had a fitness studio. You're a cancer survivor as well. Marathons, CrossFit triathlons, and then now you're involved in the Tiger Method, which we'll get to. But when you see you're somebody who's been involved in all these different aspects, what does a night like Women in Sports Night mean to you?
Well, it's funny because when you do things like this, you kind of go about your life and you forget everything that you've accomplished along the way. So having the privilege to be asked to come and speak, you just kind of go down memory lane and you forget everything that you've done. I mean, this is just, it's ingrained in me to be an athlete and go after my goals and dreams. So it's beautiful to see all the young girls here and talking to them. Some of them are asking to take pictures, and they're just, to see them so excited, it's awesome.
And it's great that they're able to have role models like yourself and all the other athletes. I know during that first intermission, we saw different ones up on the scoreboard, Vicky Keith, Jana Heffert, some of the different ones, and it's great to see them being celebrated like that here tonight.
I know, it's pretty wonderful, pretty amazing, some of those athletes that are out there.
So we mentioned the Tiger Method, and one of the reasons that you're here in Kingston is you've got a workshop coming up, and when I was looking up the name, I saw the Tiger Method and kind of dug into it a little bit, but can you give us kind of the Coles Notes version of what that is?
Yeah, the Tiger Method is actually an athlete's guide to self-mastery. So I really focus on athletes transitioning to life after sports. As we know, I'm sure people have had experience themselves or in their families. There's a major identity shift when you go from training, the schedules, the discipline, and then all of a sudden, oh, I'm out in the real world. It's definitely, you go through different ups and downs, and that's something I'm really passionate about working with.
And that's one of the things, talking to different athletes, they say once the career ends and now it's the quote-unquote real world, there's that adjustment period, and your program would help them get through that period, correct?
Yeah, absolutely. So really helping them shine light on what their transferable skills are, but also getting to the heart of who they are and what it is and the type of impact that they want to make in the world. So if we can help them bridge that gap between their playing career and the traits that they've brought to that sport and help them translate into something that they're very passionate about, you have a very fulfilling career ahead of you, right?
You certainly do. And then the name, the Tiger Method, there's a neat story behind it, if I read that correctly, isn't there?
Yes. My grandpa called me Tiger. You could actually, he needed his own bench to watch me play hockey games. He would slide up and down, and I could hear him say, "Go Tiger." And actually, the day that he passed, I was living in Texas at the time, and I remember my father calling me. I can picture myself driving back to my apartment, and I went to a coffee shop that day and literally filled a notebook front to back on the first version of the Tiger Method. This was in 2010. So it's had a lot of rewrites and revisions after going through. I went through divorce, I went through bankruptcy, I've gone through breast cancer. So I've had to pull myself out of a lot of situations, and I've used the Tiger Method every time to get back on track.
And you're going to be on hand here in Kingston to be able to give people kind of the synopsis of that coming up, aren't you?
Absolutely. So February 5th and 6th at the Kingston Grand, I will be speaking with a great lineup of speakers at the TEDx Queen's University. So it's such an honor. If anybody's ever had the privilege to step on a TEDx stage, I'm very excited to be there, and lots of ideas we're spreading.
Tickets are available over at the Kingston Grand box office, I saw. So if you're looking to get some more information on the Tiger Method and see Janine's presentation, head on over and take that in. Thanks so much for joining us here tonight.
Thank you for having me.
Janine Charron, Tiger Method, part of Women in Sports Night here at the Leon Center. 1-0 the London Knights over the Kingston Frontenacs on the OHL tonight as we roll along on your TV.